My name is Zoe Davis. I have been swimming for 15 years. For the past 3 years, I have been a lifeguard and swim instructor at the Norris Aquatic Center at Northwestern University.
I don't swim as much as I did in high school because I feel like if I do 2 laps, I'm like, whew, that's enough for now. But yeah, I really like this pool. Neither of my parents know how to swim, which is, I think, the primary motivator of why they put like my little sister and I in swim lessons. And we started taking swim lessons. I was about 7 and she was about 4. We just enrolled in our local YMCA group lessons. I was a really bad swimmer as a kid. Like I failed the beginning level, I feel like 7 times, like some ridiculous amount of times like that, which I think is super ironic, the fact that I'm actually a swim teacher now. But I just remember, I feel like I was probably like 12 when I finally made it to the advanced level. And after like 5 years of swimming lessons, I just remember being like, I called my mom and I was kind of like, Mommy, guess what? And she was like, I don't know what she was expecting. But I was like, after all these years, I finally am a shark, which is like what they call the advanced level. I was like, all these years. So I think it was really, like, I think it took a lot of perseverance. And I think all the years of being like not very good at it or having like struggles, I think they all kind of like paid off in the end.
Whitney Young High School was where I got my start competitive swimming. Known for being Michelle Obama's alma mater, having a successful basketball program, its academically rigorous curriculum is probably one of the most favored Chicago public high schools. It is also ranked as the 3rd most diverse high school in Illinois by Niche.com. That diversity was also reflected by my swim team, which was a big part of why I felt that I belonged in the sport. Specifically, there was a bond that the other Black swimmers and I shared. We used to share a lot of hair products, like borrow each other's shampoo and leave-in conditioner.
In my like day-to-day life, I think like my teammates like in high school were always big. Like I was the same age and or older than a lot of them, so I think different than like role model, but also just like kind of people that were just always kind of like there for me and like I could be there for them. And I think having like I think my team was really good in high school, and I think having that like strong community of swimmers, because swimming is hard. I swim a lot of meets where I was one of few Black people, so I think it's kind of like it's one of those things where you're like, I deserve to be here, I can do this. Yeah, just not even worrying about what other people could be thinking or like any kind of just like kind of putting all that, because I think those kind of thoughts are real, but kind of putting all that out of your mind and just being like, I can do this.
In 2017, a poll conducted by USA Swimming, the governing body of swimming in the United States, and an organization in which 1.5% of the members countrywide are Black, found that nearly 64% of African American children cannot swim. And the impact of that is clear. They drown at nearly 5.5 times the rate of other children. Being a swimmer of color is not easy, especially when there aren't many examples to rely on. I remember when I was younger watching Cullen Jones medal in the 2008 and 2012 Olympics, and then getting to meet him when I was a sophomore in high school. When I got to Northwestern as a freshman, my first thought was not to work at the pool. But when sophomore year came, my mom encouraged my sister and I to get lifeguard certified, and I applied to be a garden teacher at SPAC. I expected to be one of the only, if not the only, Black students working at the pool. But on my first day of lifeguard training at Northwestern, I met Morgan Hogan.
My dad actually, he grew up on the south side of Chicago, and he always talks about how, I wanted to do all this stuff, but hey, class and race plays a part in not being able to do this stuff. When he went off to college, he was like, I'm gonna learn all these sports, I'm gonna do what I can, and I'm gonna make sure that my kids can do it too. And that's the reason why I'm able to swim and be a lifeguard and do that kind of stuff right now. He had the money to put me in lessons. He had the money to move me to a good place. If I didn't have those opportunities, then I wouldn't be a lifeguard right now. So race, class, all that stuff that plays a part in it. Even being able to get this opportunity, because being a lifeguard here, it's one of the better jobs on campus. Like, yo, you don't have to have work study to work here. You get a raise every year. You can have a flexible schedule, 2 hours if you want. Like, it's nice. So yeah, race and class, like, that comes into play a lot.
Swimming lessons are expensive. In order to try to change this, USA Swimming, through its 725 Make a Splash local providers across the country, have allowed more than 4 million children to receive access to swim lessons.
It's very cliche to say representation matters, but representation matters, especially to kids. Seeing someone that looks like you, like, winning something, it's kind of like, even if I know, like, I'm not going to be an Olympic swimmer, like, that's okay. But, like, when Simone Manuel won gold at the last Olympics, like, it was kind of like, yes, girl, like, you, like, do it. She had to kind of blaze her own trail, and had very few, like, people that came before her. So I think even, like, that in and of itself is a challenge.
She was amazing. It was amazing that she was able to, I think it was tie for gold or something like that. And then on Facebook, you see all the little posts of, like, little black girls going like, that's me next. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, there you go, that is you next. So when black kids see that, you know, they're able to be like, oh, that's just something else that we can do.
At the end of the day, it's not necessarily about becoming the next great Olympic swimmer. It's about survival. For too long, Black people have been kept away from swimming pools, having the right to develop a life-saving skill denied. While many pools today offer swim lessons throughout Chicago, not all of them offer year-round swim lessons. And an even smaller number of these pools are public.
Pools should be in every neighborhood. There should be good swimming programs in every neighborhood, and every child should have that access, whether it be, like, I think the limits to access are, like, where are pools located and, like, how swimming lessons are expensive. So I think if you cut down those barriers to access, I think that's what I would change generally about swimming culture in the United States.
It's pretty crazy to think that a little girl that was too scared to jump into the 5 feet pool and took forever to pass the highest level swim test would one day be a swim instructor. I want to share my story, my journey, because this is so important. I dream of a world where one day every child knows how to swim and can go to a pool and not be afraid to jump right in.